The computer. Perfect. Yeah. Now we'll start. Yeah. So the objective of today's session is to help digital marketers, especially in retention marketing, understand RFM and how to use it. So this would require at least a bit of understanding of what does RFM, what does digital marketing and retention marketing mean, and especially RFM, if you have a little exposure to it. Okay. Arpit, yeah, we will uploading this session onto YouTube by Monday, Tuesday, and then we will be happy to share it with you. But don't make this as a thing to drop off and enjoy, but live session will be great. Okay. If people can switch on the cameras, that will be great. It will make me look helpful because I'm not talking to myself. Nimay and Prashant, really nice for you to switch on your cameras. Okay, but have the questions flowing into the chat. I will at the right times pause and take the questions. Okay, so the good part is you guys had put in the questions when you had put in this. I got 50 questions, so we use Gen AI to summarize it and make it clear. So we will try to cover 70-80% of this. So we'll start with the basics of RFM, importance of CRM tools and RFM. How do you build campaign strategies using RFM? And very important part, what did I make 5 mistakes in my career with RFM? And then we will have debates around the session. So this is tuned to be 60 minutes, but this might go a little longer. So if you feel that it is overwhelming for you and you have a hard stop, feel free to drop off anytime. Don't need to stay on this just to keep me happy, but happy to go drop off, but make the full use of it this session. Okay, is that good? Can we start now? Yeah, so just put in 1.08 in the chat or let me know that you guys are attentive. Let me see how many people put 1.08. विष्णु is on 1.0, तो सुन नहीं रहे हो आप लोग, है ना? 1.08 है, right? Yeah, ठीक है, great, perfect. Okay, so why retention marketing is gaining a lot of importance, and this is Neil Patel. I don't look like him; he might look like me. बाल कम है ना दोनों के. So marketers have to pay more attention to first party data because the overall marketing is becoming very expensive. Okay, TV ads are expensive. First party data is expensive. Google, Facebook are getting expensive. So first party data is a very efficient way to reach out to the customers. So and we can be more personalized with them and one-to-one direct in this. So, but the problem is getting the data together and making it to use. So if you have taken care of your first party data and you have a decent database of your company, of your customers, and with your email ID, phone numbers, and some bit of behavioral data, what we will discuss today will come to big use to you. Okay. So, and I'll ask you some questions in the between so you can put yes, no, basic questions पूछूंगा. So how many, so I'm assuming everyone has some kind of customer database for your company. How many people have more than 1 lakh customer data available for their company? I'm not asking you direct questions, but 1 lakh से ऊपर customer data है आपके पास. So just put in the chat yes or no. Yeah. Guys, put okay. So many of you have more than 1 lakh, and I'll tell you why 1 lakh is a good amount. Because when we have lesser data, then the customer retention marketing really does not kick off with the full potential. Okay, and especially RFM. If you have very less data, 100-200 records, then there is no RFM and all to be applied. When you have a decent customer database, then you can really do segmentation and all and make best use of it. When there is lesser data, you have your different strategies. Okay. So why am I talking about all of this? Okay, so a little bit of my background, I don't boast it, but I have like a lot of experience working in marketing and analytics, but I am a curious learner. I started my journey with coding, went into analytics at the right time, got the wave, but I fell in love with marketing and data analytics. That is when I was working a lot with 11 years with Amex. And then I worked with Tata IQ, which was predominantly working on designing the Tata Neo program, which is a group loyalty program. Then with Motherson Sumitomo marketing with industrial analytics. And then I came back to Lenskart, where I used both of my customer analytics, growth marketing, all of this came together. So almost 10, 15 years of experience in doing marketing analytics in different domains. And over the last 1 year, I have set up my own consulting in growth marketing. And I've worked with almost 4, 5 traditional companies, startups, different areas. So I know pretty decently well in this. And what I love is, while I love doing these projects, I spend about 10-15% of my time teaching. Okay, so when I say teaching, I teach in institutes like ISB, Masters Union. So I teach growth marketing analytics together on it and different aspects of it, whether it is CRM, whether it is marketing analytics. So I keep talking about it, and I write also newsletters. So somebody in my team will also put in the link to the newsletters. If this is of interest to you, we can you can subscribe to the newsletter and read more about it. So whatever we learn, we publish it as a blog so that people can learn it. तो हम कुछ अपने पे नहीं रखते हैं. We just distribute it across. Okay. So why, so of all the things, what I do is I love retention marketing. Okay. Why I love retention marketing is because of three key areas. Okay. One is it has the highest ROI. When I say highest ROI, it means that whatever money you spend, you can get a lot of returns if done intelligently well. Okay. Next is it is highly analytical. It has a lot of data. It has customers data. It has behavior data into it. You have campaign data. A lot of data is available. Okay. And it is low budget. Okay, you spend, see, you can only spend to the customer base you have. So for example, if you have only 1 lakh customers and you have to send a WhatsApp message once in a month to everyone, so you cannot spend more than a lakh rupees on it. So it is low budget, but it is high ROI. And but it takes a lot of patience to develop it. Okay, and if you use the right use of analytics, creativity, personalization, it can really give you very good results. Many companies who are in the early growth phase don't realize the business impact of it. But as you cross 2, 3 years, when you have say few lakhs of database, you see that. And I've seen that magic happening in Tata Groups, in Amex, in Lenskart. And but you cannot say कि after 3 साल मैं अपना ये journey बनाऊंगा. You have to start building your database from day zero. The biggest challenge people face after 2, 3 years कि मतलब अब हम सीआरएम पे फोकस करते हैं, बट तब डेटा क्वालिटी अच्छा नहीं होता, फोन नंबर्स ठीक नहीं होता, एंड पर्सनलाइजेशन नहीं कर पाते. दे आर बिकॉज ऑलवेज फोकस ऑन द टॉप ऑफ द फनल, गूगल एंड फेसबुक मार्केटिंग. So this is what will come at the right moment. But what I would say is it has to be built together, and that's a separate session. I can, if that's of interest, we can do. But do you think you guys face challenge of data quality अच्छा नहीं है customer retention marketing के साथ? Anyone? You can put a yes in the chat if you face similar challenge that data quality is an issue. If it's not an issue, you can say no. And when I say data quality की फोन नंबर है, ईमेल आईडी नहीं है, ईमेल आईडी है बाउंस हो जाता है, फोन नंबर है व्हाट्सएप परमिशन नहीं है, फिर उसका नेम नहीं है, फिर उसका डेट ऑफ बर्थ नहीं है, ऑल ऑफ दीज थिंग्स. So that's a big problem. So building the right hooks to gather the customer information is the step one to start the journey of CRM. But today's CRM session is focused on retention marketing. But in CRM, there are four key things to see. Okay, the first is how to drive business impact to CRM has four key things. Okay, one is content. Content is the hero. If you send poor content out, you will not get results. So there are great examples like Zomato, Swiggy, Lenskart. They play with content copy, and they get superior results, almost 50 to 100% better results than anyone else. Second is the offer. Okay, if you construct an offer very intelligently, whether it is the offer, the coupon code, and all, that also helps. Then is timing. What is the right timing to send? Say 2 बजे आपको मैसेज आता है भूख लगी है बिरयानी खाओगे. That's a timing. And then it's an audience. Okay, what is the audience to send the message? And generally, what happens after a company has spent a lot of time in building the database and building a bigger database, you have more people to send and lesser budget. So the optimization plays. And what message to send to the what person is the key thing. Okay, so today we will not focus on content, offer, and timing. We will focus on audience, and we will build it up to RFM. Now, generally in CRM, there are two types of campaigns. Okay, the two types of campaigns are journey campaigns or drip campaigns, which are event-based campaigns. Okay, I'm sure everyone must be doing it. If you can type in which is a campaign of journey campaign which you do in chat, something like cart abandonment and all. And I'm sure everyone must be doing some kind of journey campaign through the life cycle, because that is where everyone starts it. That retention marketing starts with retaining the user onto the system and getting them converted. So journey campaigns are must do. Okay. Then comes is the batch campaign. Batch campaigns are the campaigns which we send कि we have the entire database. अब month end आ रहा है, offer करना है, payday sale करनी है, ये sale करना है. We have to send a bulk of the campaigns out to the people or the customers. Now, how do you decide which campaigns to send to which one is the key of batch campaigns. But you know what I hate about batch campaigns? Anyone hates batch campaigns? No, you everyone loves. Think about as a customer, okay? अर्पण सेज यू हेट बैच कैंपेन्स. क्या होता है, मंथ एंड आता है, पेडे सेल आ जाता है, समझ में नहीं आता मथुरा के पेड़े हैं कि पेड़े हैं. ओके, एंड इट्स अ वेरी अनडिफरेंशिएटेड सेल. सो और से दिवाली आता है, बिग बिलियन डे आता है, भर भर के मैसेजेस आते रहते हैं, व्हाट्सएप आते हैं. बट व्हाट वी फील इज, यू नो, दीज आर स्पैम्स एंड दीज आर मास कैंपेन्स डन. So what are issues with batch campaigns is there are mass campaigns, there is lack of personalization, it is sent like everybody will get the same message, and they have low conversion rates. But why do we do batch campaigns is because we want to get the sale, we want to get the uptick. Okay, but batch campaigns can be created with bit of more intelligence, and that is why there are a lot of segmentation techniques been done. Okay, there are segmentations which can be done basis gender, age, occupation, marital status, which is the demographic segmentation. Then technology segmentation like browser operating system or this. So you can make proxies that people who use iPhone 13 or 14 plus are more premium users, or people who are using Android का Xiaomi वगैरह का थोड़ा सस्ता वाला phone, you can say that they are more value conscious users. Or behavior segment, people who browse different things, or psychographic segment. So the left pie chart, which are these different segmentations, are more of rule based segments. You say, okay, if the customer is this, then do this. If the psychology is this, you do this. So you bifurcate the people on different types of segmentation. And then there are advanced segmentation, which are mostly machine learning based segmentation, which are like k-means clustering, Gaussian algorithm, density based. But there are, and this could be more overwhelming for you, but one of the most famous segmentation technique is RFM. And RFM is such a popular segmentation technique that it is known to everybody. Okay, how many people have used RFM segmentation or tried once in a while? You could maybe put it in the chat, or maybe you can share your experience कि RFM में क्या चला क्या नहीं चला. You can unmute yourself and share your experience. Anyone?
I think I'll go. So we have tried it RFM uh, using MoEngage. So I think it works, but ऐसा होता है कि it will work the best for the loyal customers, the champions more. It is still very low ROI for the lower RFM score cohorts. So उस case में the cost of sending that campaign did not work for us.
Okay, thanks, Sarpan, for sharing your experience on this. Anyone else? ठीक है. See, understanding RFM is not an easy thing. Okay, that's what my learning has been. मैंने भी मतलब I spent like 3-4 months just understanding RFM चलता कैसे है, how do I segment, and there is, and by the end of the session you will, I would leave you with some bit of my experience on this, and as collective also. So what RFM does it? RFM ultimately breaks down the population into these segments which are there on the right: champions, loyal, cannot lose them at risk. But what we will understand is how do we arrive there. So you don't need to use all these things of RFM. You can go on to a lower mechanism also. Okay, so RFM has three things. So RFM has multiple models, but we'll start with the classical definition of RFM. Okay, the classical definition of RFM is basis sales. Okay, what it means is if somebody has bought something from you, then recency means time since he last ordered. Frequency means how many times did he order in the last 1 year or 1 month. You can define the period. And monetary is what is the total transaction value you have given in them in that period. Okay, so RFM may you can the classical model restricts us to the orders, and RFM ka if we go back to a little bit of history, RFM is not a new method. It is almost like 60 years old method. Okay, RFM started with the birth of direct marketing. Okay, when we started capturing data about people, तब intent based customers और उसका data नहीं होता था, तो RFM classical RFM was I have your bank account number or credit card number or those things, so we have the data, and then they started out building him. Now, with people launching a lot of loyalty programs, it started growing. And especially with the e-commerce things available, it became much more bigger. Now, one of the pivotal points was a use of lot of martech when RFM really increased, because the problem with RFM is a little analytical technique. Not everyone will be using the RFM using particular coding or trying to do that RFM calculation by having a data analyst do something and then refreshing it. तो वो बहुत ज़्यादा constraint था when we were doing RFM in the classical methods when companies had this. Now, as MarTech tools, CRM tools, Adobe, Omniture, or Salesforce or Clever Tab, Mo Engage, all of these came in. उसमें this is a standard feature available. But what has happened is people started using the feature without understanding how does it work. तो उसमें ना एप्लीकेशन ढंग से समझ में नहीं आता. ओके, सो मॉडर्न आरएफएम हैज अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ डिफरेंट नुआंस. हमने वहां पे बोला आरएफएम इज डन ऑन ऑर्डर्स. Modern RFM, what they do is they say recency basis engagement. What it means ki last when did you log in? Okay, frequency, how many times did you log in or you came onto the website? Or monetary, to monetary remains same, that how much money did you give to the company. So monetary never changed, but recency and frequency models काफी evolve हो गए RF models. Okay, now that also especially became higher for high frequency apps, and especially app based companies used RF models very highly, especially which are more things like Flipkart, Mintra, Zepto, which are very high frequency. RF models are used very highly in gaming environments, क्योंकि वहां तो बिल्कुल नेचुरल एडिक्शन के लिए चाहिए होता है ये सब. ओके, सो गेमिंग में इसका एप्लीकेशन बहुत हाई है. Okay, so let's go to the basics. Why do we need RFM? So RFM is used to improve more machine learning driven segmentation. It helps us understand customers in a more simpler cluster basis. It ultimately, the aim of this is to improve your customer retention, and the way to measure long term customer retention is by increasing the lifetime value of the customer. Lifetime value of the customer is the predicted value of the business the customer will give to the company. Okay, so for example, Saurabh ने पहला transaction किया 500 रुपए का. Now in the lifetime we expect that he will do, his probability of doing it is 4 times, so 200 500 into 4 times 2000 रुपए इसका predicted lifetime value है. So by using the right RFM techniques or by using the right retention marketing techniques, you can bring back the user and get your business impact on the repeating customer and increase it. So it is one of the tools and techniques which people use. Okay. Yeah. So I'll take a pause here. Is there any question anyone has before we move further? Am I going any fast or am I slow? Now we will go very deep into RFM. Okay. Okay, if there is no question, I think so there it's fine. Okay. So guys, feel free to put questions in the chat. I'll be happy to pick it up. मेरे लिए monotonous होना बड़ा मुश्किल हो जाता है. Okay. So how does RFM work? Okay, so RFM works in a very simple thing. You take the recency, frequency, monetary buckets and divide it into 3, 5, 10. Three could be like low, medium, high. For recency, three for frequency, and for monetary, and then you evenly distribute. ओके, इवनली डिस्ट्रीब्यूट मींस अगर आपके पास 100 कस्टमर हैं तो आप उसका रिसेंसी स्कोर बनाइए सिंस परचेज सिंस लास्ट, sort it in the order, and then if you have 100, put 33, 34, 33 in different buckets, and then you rank them high, medium, low. Same you do for recency, frequency, monetary, and then you combine the segments into this. Okay, so that's a very simple way of doing it, and this is done automatically into the systems today. Okay, yeah. So let me just open up the Excel sheet and show you. Tell me one thing, are you able to see the Google sheet right now?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. Great. So generally what happens is you will get a transaction data, something like this. Okay. So you will get a transaction ID, customer ID. So this is something for you to understand. Okay. अगर आपको खुद manually भी करके देखना है, you can do it, but most of the systems do it automatically for you. So this is a sample data of customer transaction, name and all, product category and all. So first thing is the easiest thing in this is to calculate the recency. तो हमने इसमें recency कैसे निकाला है? So this is like a little old data. तो हमने इसको recency निकाला है as of particular date. So today minus D3, which is a transaction date. तो आप उससे आप recency निकाल सकते हैं, and then it will give you a score. He purchased since how many days? Okay, and then it will give you the recency days. फिर इसको हम sort करके we will put it in order. Okay, so this is the step one. So आपको transaction data से शुरू करना है, and then you have to pivot it to a particular information. Now, generally RFM is not done at a transaction level. RFM is done at a customer level. When I say customer level, then what you do is you have customer ID 1, 2, 3. So if you have say 1,000 transactions, assume that 600, 700 customers में किया होगा. So you then create this data at a customer level, and then you put in your recency number. Okay, ki how many days since it is recent, how many times the person has purchased in the last 1 year, and what is the value he purchased at. Okay, so this is what you do. Let me just sort this data. Okay. So then what you do is you sort your recency. Okay. Once you and then you give the rank. Okay. What is the rank of it? And you sort your recency. आपने sort कर लिया and then you bucket them into high, medium, low. Are you able to see? So this is the recency bucket and this is the recency rank. तो आपने इसको high, medium, low में sort कर लिया, right? Okay. Then what you do, you kind of look at the frequency. Then you again do the same thing for frequency. You put in the frequency into frequency rank and then you sort it by high, medium, low. Simple in 3 segments. Okay. And then what you do is you sort it on monetary. Okay. Monetary में भी आपको simple same करना है. Then you kind of put it in monetary and then you sort it by high, medium, low. Now, assuming recency has 3 buckets, frequency has 3 buckets, and monetary has 3 buckets, how many total number of segments will you get? You can put the number in chat. Guys, okay, Ram says 27. Ram, how is 27? 3, 3, 3 है तो कैसे होगा? 9 नहीं होना चाहिए. Anyone agrees or disagrees with Ram? Guys, please put the score which you think will be there into this. Arpana says 3 into 3 into 3, 27. Sorry, missed out. Okay. So yeah, this question I generally ask in many groups, and some people say 3 होगा, कोई कहता है 21 होगा, कोई कहता है 81 होगा, कोई कहता है 27 होगा, कोई कहता है 81. So, but the right answer definitely is 27 because it's 3 into 3 into 3. Okay. So once you have done this high, medium, low, what you do is you then put in a recency score of 1, 2, 3, monetary score, and then you combine the score. You basically average it out. And then you group the segments into loyal, can't lose and all. So theoretical segments हमारे ऐसे ही हैं कि you have champions are people who have high across, and hibernating are low frequency, low monetary, and this. So basically you combine them into fewer buckets. Okay, so I think so 7, 8 buckets you combine them into. So ultimately you have these 7, 8 buckets which you need. But what you do is you uh, create these 27 segments and combine it into logical segments. Okay, this is a very important step to do. And at the end, you end up creating this graph. So on the right, on the x-axis, it is recency, and then on the y-axis, it's frequency and monetary, and then it comes down. So champions are the ones who have the highest values, and hibernating ones are the ones whom you're losing pretty quickly. Okay. Yeah, need to take the rank percentages and do it correct. Okay. Yeah. So tell me one thing, if you have if you have a say, if you have to give 10% off say 50% off onto the next offer as a next order for your customers to repeat, which are the segments you will never send that offer to? So I'll repeat the question. If you have an offer which is very nicely created, ki 50% off de denge, but I want the customer to be retained, which segment you will not send this offer to? That's my question to you. Okay, champions you will not send. Any other segment you will not send? Loyalist and potential you will not send. Champions and loyal. Yeah. So basically, what you will not do is you will not send it to people on this right side, right top, but you will send it to people who are on the lower axis. Okay. People either who have higher, so this basically this L you will send it to. Okay, which are your most difficult customer to retain. Our aim is to move them towards this right champions area. Yeah. So Kirti, the way to do it is you first create the values of R, F, and M, and then we kind of rank order them into it. Maybe I'll just explain it again once. Okay. So first you create the recency score, days since which he purchased. Then you create your score. Frequency score is the score with how many times the person purchased in the last 1 year or last 2 years, whatever is the framework you want. And what is the monetary value he got from the person in the last 1 year or जो भी time frame आपने choose किया है. And then you sort it out. Okay. Or you rank order it. Once you rank order it, then you sort it and then create the top three. So जिसने highest, the top 33% of people who have spent the money, you will put it them into the high monetary, medium, and low. Are you guys able to? Says that he's not able to hear me out. Are others able to clearly hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So Ram, please check your audio. You can later on, otherwise check the recording as well. Okay. Okay. So once you bifurcate the audience into R, F, and M, you can then start looking at the segments into campaigns. Okay. And then start doing your campaigns. Okay. So we already discussed this question. How many segments does RFM have? So answer definitely is 27. So this is a very particular interview question. I use it and I'm telling you 30, मतलब 20% people only pass it. So many people in retention marketing come and ask me कि इंटरव्यू में कि हाँ हाँ हमें आरएफएम आता है. देन आई से अच्छा आरएफएम में कितने सेगमेंट्स होते हैं जस्ट एक्सप्लेन मी. तो वो आंसर या तो 3 आता है या 9 आता है. 9 is the most particular answer which comes. So it's a trick question. You can ask, even though you can ask the interviewer as well. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So now coming down to creating a good campaign around it, okay, and creating a good campaign uh, is resulting into what's the audience you want to do, what's the objective, what's the offer, and what's the channel. Okay. Now assume that Flipkart is doing a big billion day sale on 15th August, okay, and they want to send a message to every person in the uh, database. Okay, उनके पास say 5 crore का database and they want to send a WhatsApp marketing campaign to everyone. Now, my question to you is just think for 5 seconds and answer in the chat, or you can come online and answer that how would you apply RFM in it? Or would you be able to apply RFM or not in it? The objective is he has to do a big billion day sale and send out a mass campaign to everyone. So, is RFM applicable in this case or not? Okay. So Nimay, so many people are saying yes. I would like to hear Nimay, just unmute yourself or Arpan or Pallavi. Explain in your thoughts how do you think RFM is applicable?
One thing is that I guess like you can have different sort of communication for different kind of cohorts within the RFM buckets that you create. Plus, like you said, right? Probably not everyone like needs to know about billion day sale if they're a regular Amazon customer. So you probably wouldn't send in any message to them, or you might send them a message from a free channel like a push notification rather than a WhatsApp where you spend money and send them. So in that case, to analyze like which medium works well for them, that and the kind of communication also that works for them, and if you have to actually send them anything, that would be dependent.
Okay, great. Arpan or Pallavi, you if you want to add something.
I think
So
RFM can use to identify which customers to send this to. We can't send it to all 5 crore people.
No,
At
the
least not.
objective is to send to everyone. They have the budget. They want to send it to everyone. How would you use RFM?
Maybe then to identify which channel, maybe we can use a cheaper channel for some
वो
parts.
कंस्ट्रेंट है अर्पण. जस्ट टेक इट दैट यू हैव टू डू दैट टू एवरीवन. बोल दिया है बजट है करना ही है. अब आप कैसे लगाओगे? Any thoughts?
We can look at like purchasing behavior in terms of like, for example, you could send people based on the kind of products that they've purchased, right? Like RFM, but then you can based on their purchase history of what they've purchased. Like for example, on Amazon, they bought like electronics or apparel. Based on that, probably you could have communication. It's again then communication only.
Yes, yes. Really nice. Pallavi, you were saying something?
I was saying we can definitely do on the behavior basis. Also, like nudging can be done on the based of the frequency of the customer that have bought. Maybe they have bought less, like someone who is on the verge of hibernating or something like we are losing the customers. We can do more nudging to them as compared to champions or loyal customers.
Yeah. All of you are
So what I will,
pretty. Hmm.
yeah. So what I will feel ki, it will help you to segment the customer in a better manner so that you can actually reach to the customer with the right set of the products offering. For example, like discount communication should not to be go to a premium customer, right? Because ultimately, if has a budget of 2000 rupees, does not make sense to be sending you 100 rupees of offer, right? So that kind of segmentation will help to understand the customer behavior as well. RFM specifically do that as well, right? The product offering, the landing page, and ultimately that will yield more conversion and resulting into the better OS rather
Yes.
than reaching to the bland to the entire customer
Yeah.
base.
See, lot of times now we want to do optimization by sending less, but CRM most of the times we are ki email सबको भेज दो. So sending different communication to different people is the key thing. For example, if somebody is hibernating, we say something like, okay, last big billion day, we saw that you were interested in this. Big billion day is coming again. Why don't you check out an offer? Or somebody who came on and logged in your system but didn't purchase for some time, then you or have kept in added to cart. उसको अलग communication आप भेज सकते हो. Somebody who has shown recency but not purchase. Okay, or somebody who is a very high frequent user, उसको बोलो कि definitely come and stock up your things whatever he is interested into categories. So a lot can be played on onto personalized communication. So definitely use your RFM segments, but then add a layer of personalization to his interest. Yeah. So Vishnu is asking, is this same as cart abandonment message that we get? See, cart abandonment message, Vishnu, is a journey message that you put something into the cart and then they say, okay, we saw that your cart has something, but you have not purchased. तो वो उसमें RFM इतना लगता नहीं है. It's most of drip marketing. Okay, and then you are catching it. But what you can do is people who have added to cart, say 1 month ago, 2 months ago, but not have purchased, you can use RFM as a layer on top of it, and then you can send communications on it. Uh,
Okay.
uh, okay. So yeah, so you can play in this. So I mentioned Flipkart. इसमें हमने जो example डाला. So in this case, it's as one of our most valued customer, enjoy 20% off on all items, and thank you for being a loyal customer. अब उसमें segment का नाम लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है. Thank you for being an dormant customer, sleeping customer. मतलब it's more of acknowledging this one. Okay, but the whole idea is messaging is a big thing. You have to play with the segment. to go into customers' mindset, even though your campaign is mass. But if you divide your campaign into smaller segments and do it. Okay. So I know some people use the word cohort. Okay. I generally get a little irritated with the word cohort. Do you guys think cohort and segments are same? How many people think cohorts and segments are same? Okay, अब मैंने ट्रिगर बोल दिया था कि I get irritated. So let me tell that why do I think cohorts and segments how they are. So all cohorts are segments, but all segments are not cohorts. Okay, that is the key thing. So cohorts क्या होता है? Cohort is like a batch. Okay, of people से हम कहते हैं Gen Z, Gen Y वो. So people who have shown a similar behavior at a period of time, and then we track them through the life cycle. For example, people who were born during कोविड, ओके 2 साल या 1-2 साल के पीरियड में जो बॉर्न हुआ है, उनका अपना अलग लाइफस्टाइल होगा या उनका अपब्रिंगिंग अलग होगा. और कोहोर्ट्स और अदर एग्जांपल कुड बी जेंजी जेन वाई, या फिर हम कहते हैं ना कि दिस इज द बैच ऑफ 24, दिस इज द बैच ऑफ 21, दिस इज द बैच ऑफ 96. सो यू काइंड ऑफ lock people into a segment at a period of time, and then you track it over lifetime. So as so one is एक हो गया जनरल मार्केटर, ओके विच डज नॉट अंडरस्टैंड, वो सब लिंगो यूज करते हैं. बाकी आप एक स्मार्ट मार्केटर हो जो कस्टमर सेगमेंटेशन समझता है, यू शुड करेक्ट पीपल सेइंग दैट ओके ऑल कोहोर्ट्स आर नॉट दिस थिंग. कोहोर्ट्स आर ट्रेंड्स टू एनालाइज, यस दे आर एनालाइज, बट कोहोर्ट के अंदर ना कोई अंदर बाहर नहीं हो सकता. ओके व्हेन आई एम सेइंग पीपल हु आर born in 1999 का कोहोर्ट, वो 1999 में जो बॉर्न हुआ, जब तक वो मर नहीं जाता वो कोहोर्ट से बाहर नहीं होगा. Okay, so they will be in that segment locked. Generally, जैसे gender भी is a segment, it's not a cohort, but it's not a time-based behavior. Okay, so there is a little, मतलब you can say all cohorts are segments, but all segments are not cohort. Okay, so that's the way you need to look at. But please don't generalize it, saying कि जैसे कि this is a very common term in digital marketing. What cohorts are you targeting this weekend? ओके अब जैसे किसी ने बोला हम ना दिल्ली का कोहोर्ट टारगेट कर रहे हैं, मुंबई का कोहोर्ट टारगेट कर रहे हैं, वो सब ना बिल्कुल गलत टर्मिनोलॉजी यूज होती है. ओके सो प्लीज डोंट फॉल इनटू दैट ट्रैप. आल्सो मेक श्योर यू आर इंटेलिजेंट मार्केटर्स बाय करेक्टिंग पीपल. इफ यू हैव दिस थिंग आई विल सेंड यू अ पोस्ट ऑफ माइन जिसपे मैंने एक्सप्लेन किया है, एंड यू कैन फॉरवर्ड इट टू देम. ओके. So yeah, so here are some examples where we are saying come back and shop with us, get an extra 15%. We miss you, or you are a loyalist customer. So you can use variations of this campaign to target them. Okay. So now another question. Okay, if I am a new customer who purchased from Zudio 2 weeks ago for 1,400 rupees, what RFM segment do we fall in? और यू कैन पुट इन की उसका RFM वैल्यू क्या होगा. Let me give you a data point that Zudio ka average monetary is about 2,000 rupees. He's a new user. Okay, so recency will be high because he just purchased it. Okay, frequency will be the first frequency, तो frequency तो low ही है, and monetary value medium होगा क्योंकि this is the average monetary और low monetary रहेगा. ठीक है, so RFM value is this. Okay, so yeah, so one of the things is tell me one thing, where does RFM not get applied? What methods where RFM should not be used? Anyone? Yeah, Arpan, the RFM is not a drip campaign thing exactly. It is only to be used in batch campaigns. Anyone, any place else do you think RFM should cannot be used or should not be used? Where first party data is limited, definitely we cannot use it much. Where customer doesn't purchase frequently. Mm-hmm. ठीक है. So there is a key difference between leads and customer. Okay. So when we do a app download campaign, we have people coming and downloading the app, but conversion rates generally 2-3% के बीच में रहता है. तो 97% people don't buy. They download the app and then they uninstall the app. So that is called a lead. And then there are customers who buy. So RFM in a traditional method cannot be applied if the database is not of customers. Okay, so it cannot be applied on leads. People who are not buying from you cannot be used in the RFM segmentation. वहां पे आप अपना दूसरा मेथड से कर सकते हो, बट RFM traditionally works only on customers. Okay, and it is to get people who have bought once from you, and then to get them to repeat. And this is a big mistake I see many people continue to do. Okay, so RFM was traditionally designed only for customers, as I was saying. So क्या होता है RFM में, अगर उसने खरीदा नहीं है तो क्या होगा, मॉनेटरी वैल्यू जीरो हो जाएगी, फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ बाइंग जीरो हो जाएगी, आर की वैल्यू जीरो हो जाएगी, रिसेंसी ऑफ बॉट बाइंग. तो 0 0 0 में यू कैन नॉट डू मच इनटू इट. Okay, it can be done on expensive products also, Vishnu. There is no problem. आप लुई वुइटन से अगर खरीदते हो तो मतलब आप कर सकते हो रिपीट, मतलब यू विल हैव अ लॉयल्टी टू दैम. क्या आप खरीदते हो विष्णु लुई वुइटन?
सर ये क्या था सर?
ठीक है.
नहीं सर. No, I was
ठीक.
wondering कि it can it be applied for non-expensive, क्योंकि किसी भी ऐसे products there are repeat customers, and this is about a bag, but it can also be about a fridge or something that lasts for a long time, a product.
ठीक है. ठीक है.
So I
श्योर
was talking about that.
श्योर. या. So if I am a new customer who just downloaded the app, what is my RFM value? So इसमें RFM will not be applicable, as I said to you, because you have not purchased anything. Okay, so it's a lead. So whenever you are doing to lead nurturing type of campaigns आप करोगे, वहां पे modified methods of RFM लग सकता है. Okay. Now what happens is आपने RFM set किया. So today you have an RFM that these are the people, 100 people are in different things. Now RFM also moves, keeps on moving basis people doing their repeats and all. So this is a method, this is an analysis where you see people who are your champions moving into different areas. And then you can see champions moving into inactives or somebody moving into this. So all these segments are keeping on moving and you can monitor your segmentation movement on month over month. This standard analysis can be done offline or it can be done within the tool. Many of these tools have these things, but monitoring how your RFM is moving is a key thing. तो आपको ये देखना है कि आपके चैंपियंस, और मतलब यू विल डेफिनेटली लूज चैंपियंस, कुछ लोग ऐड होंगे कुछ लोग निकलेंगे, बट एट द एंड आपके चैंपियंस बढ़ते जाना चाहिए, एंड योर नेट आउटफ्लो शुड बी नेगेटिव. Okay, it means you should have an inflow coming in. How can you do this is from I think so Mo Engage या Web Engage में से है ये screenshot. Okay, but how can you do in offline? You can run some Python codes and analysis is available. उसको करके आप कर सकते हो. There are standard frameworks available. If you need help, we can connect offline and happy to help you on this. Okay. So where all RFM can be used? Okay, RFM can be used in any industry which has decent repeat coming in. Okay, it can be used in retail, जहाँ पे groceries वगैरह में तो बहुत अच्छा चलता है, because you buy every week, every day. Amazon, Flipkart, marketplaces, amazing place. Okay, subscription based service where you keep on renewing the things and you are buying stuff and doing it. Okay, hospitality, tourism, travel, and little bit of financial services. Financial services में smaller ticket loans and all. Okay. RFM कहाँ नहीं चलता? Can you guys answer? Where all RFM is not applicable, cannot be used. Any industry, any use case can you think of where RFM cannot be used? या मतलब ये applicable ही नहीं है, ये मतलब this is a industry, ये पता नहीं RFM चलेगा नहीं चलेगा. Insurance. See, काइंड ऑफ जैसे टर्म इंश्योरेंस में आरएफएम का कोई मतलब नहीं है. इफ यू हैव टू टेक एन इंश्योरेंस, मैंने एक बार टर्म इंश्योरेंस ले लिया 30 years का, आई एम डन. बट आई कैन एंड अप टेकिंग से अ लाइफ इंश्योरेंस, आई कैन टेक एन एंडोमेंट पॉलिसी, बट इंश्योरेंस में दूसरा आ सकता है. ओके, एनीथिंग एल्स? So it can be used in medical field, but you have to say, मतलब see, मतलब it looks very bad to say कि यार अपोलो हॉस्पिटल का फ्रीक्वेंसी स्कोर अच्छा है. I don't know. To me, saying कि हॉस्पिटल का रिपीट रेट अच्छा है, अच्छी बात है, बुरी बात है, मुझे नहीं पता. But I will not advise hospitals to claim that सौरभ बार बार आता है. I'm very happy about सौरभ coming him. उसका लाइफ टाइम वैल्यू बढ़ा है. तो I would say practo type of a thing. इज अ गुड पॉइंट. ओके, ऐसे आप प्रैक्टो से बार बार मेडिसिन खरीदते हो, सो ओटीसी में काफी एप्लीकेबल है. ओके, ओटीसी ड्रग्स में जैसे आप जनरल फिजिशियन वगैरह में, और मे बी अपोलो में भी हो सकता है कि आप क्या, आप गए डॉक्टर का, कभी डेंटिस्ट को दिखा रहे हो, कभी किसी को दिखा रहे हो. ओके, बट एंड दिस इज अ पॉइंट विच आई डिबेटेड विद अ वीसी ऑल्सो कि इज लाइफ टाइम वैल्यू फॉर अ मेडिकल डिवाइस गुड और बैड. To me, I think so. It's a bad thing. You should be able to get it solved in the first time, right? If the person is not coming to you and the problem is solved, मतलब एक तो है कि you sold the service but he didn't like it and then he went away गाली देते हुए. दूसरा हो गया he took the service and he says यार इसने तो मुझे लाइफ टाइम के लिए सुधार दिया या ठीक कर दिया, तो I will love it. Okay, so that's where I would say कि आप उसको वैसे देखिए. One of the areas which I think so, and I was debating with my team, कि कार्स में नहीं होता. मतलब आप गाड़ी लेते हो, 5 साल के लिए गाड़ी लेके रख लेते हो. ओके, या फिर आपने रियल एस्टेट, आपने एक घर खरीद लिया. अब ठीक है, आई स्टे इन गुड़गांव, तो काफी लोग बार बार घर खरीदते रहते हैं, डीएलएफ का घर बार बार खरीदेंगे, बट मोस्ट ऑफ द पीपल दे, मतलब दे बाय वन हाउस एंड देन दे होम लोन ले लिया, फिर जिंदगी झंड हो जाती है, मतलब देते रहो लाखों की ईएमआई. ठीक है. फिर हो गया से लॉन्ग टर्म लोन्स, जैसे मतलब ऑल ऑफ दीज थिंग्स. ओके, या ज्वेलरी परचेसेस में भी थोड़ा होता है, बट जैसे शादी, ओके, शादी.com, उसका मतलब उसका रिपीट वैल्यू कुछ नहीं है. आप एक बार करोगे, बट उसमें रेफरल आता है. तो wherever there are non repeat, referral comes in very well. Okay, so just understand what is RFM applicable to your industry. Okay, that is very key. Don't say कि मेरा RFM is applicable to this industry versus that industry. And this is one challenge which I've seen many people doing. Okay, so let's come to what are the variants of RFM. Okay, we learned the classical way of doing RFM. Now the modified ways of doing RFM is recency, frequency, duration. Okay, now duration comes in especially when there is a OTT app or YouTube, Netflix. So they are trying to maximize the watch time. अगर Netflix का आप मतलब देखो, आप से मंथली सब्सक्रिप्शन दे रहे हो और कंटेंट नहीं देख रहे हो, तो वो आप बंद कर दोगे ना अगले बार. Okay, या आप से स्पॉटिफाई का मतलब आप सुनते ही नहीं गाने, तो यू विल एंड अप doing. So subscription based में duration is a key thing which determines your repeat usage. Okay, and same goes for gaming. And then there is a recency, frequency, engagement. Engagement is you go, you check Quora, Reddit, all information based apps are around it. और Amazon भी थोड़ा सा वैसे ही चलता है कि आपको जाते हो, कभी Amazon प्राइम में जा रहे हो, कभी आप मिनी में जा रहे हो, कभी प्राइम वीडियो में जा रहे हो. और वो कौन सा अनन्या पांडे का नया शो आया है, पता नहीं, एनीवन सॉ इट? ये नहीं देखा, मैंने कल देख लिया है, मतलब अच्छा है, ठीक है.
कैसा था?
Anyway, ठीक था
ट्रेलर
मतलब.
देखा मैंने।
नहीं नहीं, इट इज गुड, मतलब आई लाइक चिक फ्लिक्स. ठीक है. So yeah, it is a good show, but yeah, that's how they keep doing. And you will notice Amazon ना मंडे को नहीं निकालेगा, वो फ्राइडे को निकालेगा, ताकि आप देखो,
हम्म।
फिर आप Amazon के ऐप पे जाओ और यूज करो. Now if you see, they also mini Amazon mini, how do they do? They will bring you back, उसमें दिखाएंगे और आप उसमें ads आती रहेगी. So they use these things to get you hooked into the system. Okay. Yeah, so RFM definitely is used for personalized marketing, customer segmentation, churn prevention. Okay, and it is an automated framework to figure out what does churn mean. Churn हम बोलते हैं कि अच्छा बंदा person वो नहीं कर रहा, but you have to use the churn in different methods. Churn for a customer who bought something like a very high repeat category is a bad thing, but if he has bought, से आपकी साइट पे आके एक बार फोन खरीद लिया, तो अब 2 साल तक वापस नहीं आएगा वो. So you have to then do cross sells. So that is where upsell, cross sell are key campaigns you have to do. So RFM will tell you whom to target. What to target with will be the personalization layer you have to add on top of it, which is something many people miss. Okay. Uh, so there are all these tools available: Web Engage, Mo Engage, CleverTap, Clavio, Braze, Conflow, Adobe, Salesforce. सब में मोटा मोटा है. Web Engage, Mo Engage, CleverTap are the most popular tools which a recently big size company in India use. they use it. मेरे ख्याल से क्लावियो ब्रेज और कॉन्टलो में शायद वीक है, क्लावियो और ब्रेज में नहीं है, बट दोज आर मोस्टली ईमेल मार्केटिंग टूल्स. बट yeah, so the way generally you set up RFM, this is a screenshot of, I think so, web engage. Where you do is, it says what is your recency event. You can say recency event could be install, app update, viewed web page. तो आप recency वैसे सेट कर सकते हो. वैसे ही frequency और monetary तो सेम है, जैसे आप monetary सेट करते हो. तो frequency में वही है कि what is the frequency you are doing app installs वगैरह. तो you set the parameters out here and do it. Okay. And yeah, and then you kind of put it and set it up. But इसको ना बार बार मत खेलना, एक बार आप सोच लो कैसे आपको RFM करना है, and then you can do it well. Now, this will give you this method, and then you can put in your date range on which you are doing. Now, the problem in many is people play around a lot of this thing. Okay, and here it will tell you how the segments are migrating. So to me, it is a little analytical tool. You need to kind of use it in uh, uh, a very calculated manner. Okay. So how to measure RFM effectiveness is, definitely you should see increase in your customer retention rate. It should see your increase in your LTV. But what I would say is monitor the methods in which the segments are moving. Okay, that's how you will know. Okay, so we are almost at the end of the session. So I'll share, to summarize, the 5 key mistakes which I've done during my lifetime using RFM. Okay, so the first one is sending the same offer with the same creative to all the segments and thinking मेरा RFM चल गया. That does not give me any results because सबका same है. हमें अलग अलग segment का अलग अलग ROI दिखेगा, but that has nothing to do with my campaign. So you have to send different offers or different creatives at least to the different segments. Okay. The second is there are too many segments. Okay. Sometimes I went about creating eight segments. तो उसमें तो मैं पागल ही हो गया था. फिर 8 से 5 किया, 5 से किया. So it's very important to keep it simple, to make it manageable. Okay. Don't go crazy about creating lot of segments. And the reason I did it because हमने data निकाला और offline करना शुरू किया. Okay. The other is over dependency on tools. Okay, lot of times we expect the tools to give us good RFM, but problem क्या होता है कि जब tool implement होता है ना, for example, suppose आपकी कंपनी में tool 1 year ago implement हुआ है, तो but the company is in function for last 5 years, तो आपके पास data ही नहीं होगा system में. So if your RFM frequency is for 2 years, 3 years. जब मैं लेंस कार्ड में था तब हमने देखा कि 6 महीने का हमारा डेटा ही था. हमने रिटेंशन पॉलिसी ऐसे रखी हुई थी फॉर आवर बजट्स टू बी द कॉस्ट ऑफ द टूल टू बी लोअर. तो आरएफएम ढंग से चलेगा ही नहीं. तो देन वी हैड टू मूव ऑफलाइन एंड देन क्रिएट इट एंड देन पास ऑन द सेगमेंट वैल्यू. सो योर आरएफएम विल नॉट वर्क if your system does not have accurate data, and the second is you have limited understanding of it. And then the third is jumping into executing RFM very quickly. Okay, कि सीधा लिया, अरे RFM करना है, किसी ने बोला, बॉस ने बोला RFM करना है, फाउंडर ने बोला RFM करना है, और निकल लो. ठीक है. तो थोड़ा सोचो, आराम से सोचो. स्टार्ट स्मॉल, स्टार्ट विथ स्मॉल 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 campaigns and then scale it up. Okay. Now, the last thing which I would say is RFM does not work with all categories. Okay. And it does not work with home loans, cars, medical devices जो आप लेते हो, जैसे BP monitor या वैसे कुछ ले रहे हो. But it will work with all the categories which we have sent. And my RFM for a category cannot be equal to your RFM of your category. If you are a company which has multiple, like if you're Flipkart, you might have to think about different categories RFM as well. Okay. So that is the thing. So what I would say, RFM is a great technique, must try, analyze the data and use lot of martech and automation to do it. Okay. So in a nutshell, using demographic in, yeah. So yeah, I'm almost at the end of the session. Let me know in the comments one thing which stood out for you, which you learned in the session today. Uh, that will be really useful for me. Uh, okay. So was this session useful for you guys by any chance? Yes. Okay, great. So what, while you can put in one learning which you had from the session in the chat, I do a lot of writing about, these are some links which we will send you. Prashant, if you could put in the links in the chat to read further, that will be great. So we have put in a lot of blogs on our website, which are talking about which are talking about a lot of growth marketing and CRM related stuff. You can go and check it out. This will be good for you कि RCS कैसे चलता है, WhatsApp marketing कैसे चलता है, and you can look at it. Okay. Yeah. How I can be of help to you in future? Okay, we have a lot of free content. I love to teach. I love to share my knowledge. You can put it and check it out. So there's a lot of free content on our website. We offer consulting services. So in case you or your company needs it, happy to come in and step in. And I love to talk to many people. So you can go and look at my, you can contact me on LinkedIn, or you can book time from me directly on topmeet.io. So you can do that. Okay. So yeah, and there is another event which is coming up on omni-channel and CRM and MarTech in the coming weeks. I think so 22nd September के करीब है. So it will be 1 hour session. We will have multiple speakers from different industries. So how to use MarTech. So you can go and do it. Okay, great, yeah. So yeah, feel free to switch on your cameras, ask me questions, reflect, and happy to take questions.
Sir, you have given very good examples. Like, I really like the examples that you have given for explanation. मतलब वो एक बार में समझ में आ जाएगा कि okay, why can we cannot use जैसे medical वाला example. No one will मतलब Apollo hospitals बार बार message नहीं करेंगे. That is not a good thing. That thing, फिर that शादी वाला thing, or that cohort and that segmentation example. Those are very helpful.
Perfect. Okay.
Hey Saurabh, really love this session, man. I just have one question. This is not directly to the RFM, but I just had a request. Can you just go over to the advanced models of segmentation? I think there were some K models and everything, right? I just want if you can just brief about us, it would be really great. Yeah.
ठीक है. So I'll just do it at the end. एक बार बाकियों के भी questions हैं तो एक बार ले
Sure,
लेते हैं.
sure, yeah.
Anyone else has some question?
Hey Saurabh, thank you so much. This was wonderful. I'm sure everyone was aware of RFM, but this has given more insights and more knowledge on how we can use RFM on our daily campaigns, and definitely will be using this. But
Perfect.
by any chance, you'll be sharing a recording of this session?
Yeah, we will be publishing the recording of this session.